Here we have a pre-owned 2020 GMC Terrain. This one comes in the SLT trim level in blue emerald metallic. We have medium ash gray leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine made into a 9-speed automatic transmission. This one has 31,762 miles as of now. To the front end here, we do get our LED daytime running lights. We get our high intensity discharge headlamps, and then we have our halogen fog lights. And just a nice sophisticated front end here on this SLT trim. I love the chrome and how it kind of goes with the blue emerald metallic. Just a really nice look there. To these wheels, love these. These are 19-inch aluminum. Passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. Power door lock controls are here. We get express down on all the windows except the driver's side is one touch up and down. Power mirror controls. Rear window lock is there. Headlamp controls, electronic parking brake, hood release, and then we do get a manual tilt, telescoping steering wheel. But here's the power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar support. Huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this vehicle today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. Takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. Now, in a vehicle with this small of a footprint, I'm pretty impressed by the space back here. I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, and my knees are just barely brushing the back of the seat here. Seat back pockets are on both sides. Rear AC vents, 2 USB-A ports, and then a 120-volt 3-prong household plug-in down there. Now the bottle holder's in the middle seat when you fold that down. LED reading lights. And then you can hang a thin metal hook on here if you have pants or a shirt or something. It seems pretty sturdy. And I like the usability of the door panel in the back as well, because the front was pretty nice too, but that's just impressive for the back seat. Child lock right there. It's lock, unlock there. Fuel filler. And there's a look at the back end. Look underneath the vehicle with the exhaust. Manual lift gate. Plenty of space behind the second row. The top tethers are integrated in the back of the seats themselves, but you can fold those down by pulling a lever for either side. And then you have a 12-volt right in here. And then here, spare tires underneath this cover. Now as we come back around, rear passenger side, seat folds flat like that. You can also hit this latch here, and it's pretty easy to just snap it back into place. And then you have a little adjustability there. You can either have it like that or push it back that much. So probably about an inch, if that. But your lower latch anchors right in there. Now, one of the coolest things about these is you wonder why you don't have a power seat up here, but you can pull this, or this right here, excuse me. And then that'll fold flat when it's back far enough. Let me show you. Hard to do with one hand, but fold it flat, and then you can literally run like a long board from the trunk space all the way up into the dash here. And then that is a little harder to get back up. You basically have to hold that latch and then keep pushing. Big storage pocket here on the side. Glove compartment here. The owner's manuals are still in this one. And I like just the small top pocket up here if you have change or maybe your wallet or something you want to stick there. Now as we come back around to the front end, there's that 1.5 turbo 4-cylinder. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. Actually, let me show off these turn signal mirrors real quick. I'm trying to beat this rain. And we'll just show the back for good measure. Let's hop in the driver's seat next. So leather wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. Over here to the radio, I think this is an 8-inch screen. We get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth, wired CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility, a Wi-Fi hotspot. Settings in here, you can change your language. And then we also have our Spotify, like just certain apps you can upload on here. Backup cameras there, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. Volume knobs here, click there to mute. Hazards are there. I like that it flashes. That's always a cool thing to have. But for the radio station presets, you just hold, and that's how you can change those. Dual zone automatic climate controls. You can adjust fan speed here, fan direction from these 4 options, and then turn the knob for either side. You can turn auto on and then turn it off by adjusting the fan speed back down, and then you can sync and then unsync by adjusting the temperature there. Now for the shifter, push button, so park, reverse, neutral, drive, your limiter's there, and you can see what gear you're in the bottom right hand corner of the digital part of the gauge cluster there. SD card reader, USB-C, USB-A input, aux input, 12 volt. Your bottle holders are here, and then you do get heated seats, so you can do the seat back and seat bottom, or just the seat back for the driver and front passenger. Lane departure is there, and then your downhill brake controls there. And then you do get 2 drive modes, which is nice. You can either use the snow mode or you can use the tour mode there. So center console cubby space, pretty good size, I think. You have a removable tray, 2 USB-A ports, and then a nice light to light that up at night. Look at the back seat from up here. Sunglasses holder, OnStar, LED lights, and a nice vanity mirror here. But back to the steering wheel itself. Behind on the left side, blinkers, high beams. Your auto high beams can be toggled with this button here. And then you have your intermittent wipers, so 1 time off, intermittent low, high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency there, and then your rear wipers here, intermittent on, and then pull up for the front wiper fluid and push back for the rear wiper fluid. Get standard cruise, you can turn that on or off there, cancel, set the speed, gap adjust for the adaptive, or for the forward collision alert, excuse me, is right here. And then you have your voice recognition, your mute button, these 4 arrows, and then this check mark go through the digital part of the gauge cluster. So you have different sub menus, and then in the settings you can change your units here, and then if you want to fool with the traction control, stability control, you can go in there and fool with that. And then you can change this on the info page, option, speed warning, and whatnot. So info page is here, so you can see fuel info, oil, tire pressure monitors, and all of that. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, you can toggle those track lists or radio station favorites, and it'll even show you in the middle part of the gauge cluster here when you're doing that. Or you can toggle your volume up and down on this right side here. Push button start. Finally, here's your key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2020 GMC Terrain SLT out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 2020 Terrain here, the 1.5 turbo 4 just seems more stout in this as opposed to the newer Equinoxes I've driven. I don't know if the Equinoxes Terrains are heavier or what, but this just feels like it gets up to speed better. Maybe it's a 9-speed automatic, I don't know, but that felt a lot better than I was anticipating based on the newer models. Now, in the SLTs, I mean the Terrains in general, when these came out in that 1920 span, or 2018 I think is when they got the redesign, there were so many ways to spec these out with different optional packages. So although this is an SLT, you can get so much more on the SLT than what's shown on this one in particular. Here we go. Yeah, that 9-speed just felt a lot better. And it's just funny, this is a 2020, and I just gave it a slight pull there, and it's 31,000 miles on it. Probably needs some sort of sensor or whatever, but check engine lights on, traction control lights on. It's always the cars that have no miles on them, or that have like super low miles on them, that always have the issues. I feel like if I had found a 2020 with like 80,000 miles, this wouldn't have just happened. But it had like a shudder for a second. It's gone away now, and it's driving normally, even though all these lights are on. The check engine light has gone off now, but I still have the stability traction control lights on, and I'm not able to activate my cruise control. But the ride on these is so good. They just float down the road, and they have a similar ride to the Buick Encore, specifically the Encore GXs, and I really like that about these. They just ride so nicely. This, the Equinox, and the Encore GXs. But other than what just happened there, I mean, everything feels good. The brake pedal feels good. Just the power output feels great. Overall steering, all of that just feels normal. So don't know what's going on with that, because I didn't even floor it. Now, I do want to give one more thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Terrain today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. Now, as a pre-owned vehicle, this is still certified, barely. As a 2020, you have like 5 years, I think 72,000 miles on it, and then you can still certify a vehicle. So this is certified as of now in 2025. So depending on when you see this vehicle, that may or may not be the case. But with the miles, it really helps, because with that certification, with that bumper-to-bumper warranty, a lot of this stuff, like the traction control, stability control, can still be replaced under warranty if for whatever reason there's a part or something that's gone bad. But other than that, again, everything feels good here, just how it's driving. And just earlier, I feel like that was a fail-safe with how the engine kind of just puttered for a minute, and then it kind of calmed itself out. But definitely gonna have that looked at. But for this SLT, I would definitely want to have, and this is just me personally, I'd want to have the power lift gate option there. I'd want to have the navigation. I'd want to have the sunroof. I'd want everything but the Denali badging, because you can really make these SLTs a Denali without the Denali grille, with all the options you can get, for the most part. Now, I think heads-up display only comes on the Denali. I could be wrong there, but something you could, a quick Google search it should clarify that. But as of now, I don't know that off the top of my head. But I mean, having the LED daytime running lights, the high intensity discharge headlamps, the fog lights, the bigger 8-inch screen with CarPlay, Android Auto, and just having the 9-speed automatic, I think that's something that's really missing from the newer Terrains and the Equinoxes. You have to get all-wheel drive to get, I think it's an 8-speed automatic, and I just like these 9 speeds a little better in this vehicle particularly. Now, I had an 8-speed in the Malibu, and that had like it would always do this weird thing on the last turn going to my mom's house, where it would just kind of like clunk, and then that's the only place it would ever do it. But other than that, great transmission for me, until I got rid of it at like 70,000 miles. But I like these 8 to 9 speed transmissions in the Blazers, Terrains, Equinoxes in this kind of model year phase. but I think a pretty good SUV if you're in the market for something like this. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2020 GMC Terrain SLT.